the pellet. You ever have one of those days? Not a bad day necessarily, just annoying. You know the kind. A pebble in your shoe that you can't quite shake all day long. That was Randy's life, pretty much. A constant low-frequency hum of irritation, like a bad fluorescent bulb. His job was selling doors and windows, big hardware and lumber retailer. But the receiving manager, Irene, she'd called him up front, told him a truck was coming. His job? Unload it. Not his job, but he was the only one with the forklift training. The dumbass manager had said there'd be two, one right after the other. Stack 'em neatly, she said, right outside the roll-up door. He was so mad, he actually pictured stacking them around her stupid little sports car in the parking lot, just to block her in. So, he grabbed the forklift, out back. The store's back lot, see? It bumped right up against a residential neighborhood. Neighborhood was on a hill, overlooking the store, but they had these huge pine bushes planted, thick as a wall, so the folks up there wouldn't have to stare down at the store's backside. Pretty nice, actually. He watched the truck driver finish up, pulling the last strap off the load. Randy got to work. Bundles of lumber. Heavy. He unloaded them, one after another, setting them down neat as you please. He always did things neat. He was good at his job, even if he hated most of it. The truck driver left. Randy started to head back inside, but then he remembered Irene's voice. "Wait for the second truck, Randy." He sighed, leaned back in the forklift seat, closed his eyes. The afternoon sun was warm. You know that feeling when you're just on the edge of a doze? That's where he was, drifting. Then, a sharp sting, right there, on his neck. Like a bee, maybe? He instinctively reached up, but there was nothing. No bee, no welt. Just a prickle. A second later, another pain. This time on his leg. He caught a flicker of motion. Something small, round, bouncing off his jeans. He snapped awake, scanned the hillside, and there they were, 3 of them. Little shits. Peeking over the top of the pine bushes. One of them, a skinny kid, had an airsoft rifle. As Randy locked eyes with them, another plastic BB ricocheted off the forklift frame. Tink. Why, you little shits. Randy was off that forklift in a second. He was mid-30s, but he kept himself in shape. Jogged every day. He was fast. He scrambled up the hill, pushing through the pine needles. The kids, they saw him coming. They scattered. He heard their sneakers on the loose dirt, scrambling back up the embankment. He'd catch them. Oh, he'd catch them. Just as he reached the bottom of the hill, a voice cut through his rage. "Randy, what are you doing?" It was Irene, the asshole manager, standing there, hands on her hips, looking utterly unimpressed. "Some asshole kids," Randy yelled, still winded, still furious. "They were shooting at me with one of those airsoft guns." Irene made a face. "Aren't those toys?" Randy's anger boiled over. "Have you ever been shot with one, Irene?" He pointed to the small red welt forming on his neck. "It hurts. It stings." She glanced at it. "Didn't even break the skin. You'll live. Come on, Carl's back from lunch. Someone needs help at your desk." A huge part of Randy, a really big part, wanted to tell her to go screw herself. To drop his smock right there, walk out, and never look back. But he didn't. He had a family. They needed him. So he went back inside. But that night, on the way home, he stopped, picked up an airsoft rifle. It was cheap, felt like a toy, just like Irene had said. He started practicing in his yard, set up cans, bottles, found a surprising amount of accuracy, even from 100 feet. He'd shot a real gun before, but this was satisfying as well. His next day off, he pulled on his old camo hunting gear, just in case. He parked his car down the street, walked the long way around, and made his way back to the embankment behind the store. He knew it was unlikely the kids would show up again, but, you never know. He found a nice spot, tucked underneath the thickest part of the brush. Nobody could see him. He listened to a podcast on his phone, dozed on and off. Waited. Afternoon rolled around. No sign of the kids. The sun was getting lower, casting long shadows. Then, a truck pulled up. A new delivery. It waited and waited. Randy heard the driver honk, a couple of short, impatient blasts. Then, after about 20 minutes, the driver stomped off, heading to the back office. A few minutes later, Irene came walking back out with him. Randy heard her apologizing, saying she'd take care of it herself. Oh, Randy knew she would. He watched her hop onto the forklift. She was terrible on a forklift. Jerky movements, she bounced off every stack. And he noticed something else. No seatbelt. She wasn't wearing her seatbelt. Irene's snide comment echoed in his head. Didn't even break the skin. You'll live. Randy raised the airsoft rifle. He took aim. Smooth, like he was taking down an 8-point buck. Irene took off at full speed, heading back towards the end of the truck. Randy pulled the trigger. She screamed, a sharp, piercing sound. She grabbed at her right eye, where the plastic pellet had hit her squarely. Both hands flew off the steering wheel. The forklift, still moving, bounced hard over the curb at the bottom of the hill. The impact. It sent Irene flying over the side, a broken doll. The forklift kept going, forks up, lumbering a little ways up the embankment before the momentum died. It stalled there. Irene lay on the ground, balled up, still clutching her eye. Randy could see blood. A little too much blood. Then it happened. The heavy forklift sitting on the incline started to roll. Backwards. Slowly at first, then picking up speed. Gravity. A ton of steel, picking up speed. Irene didn't see it coming. 10,000 pounds of forklift crunched down over her body. The impact shuddered through the ground, slowed the machine. It came to rest, the front wheels pinning her. The truck driver, who'd been staring, frozen, finally screamed, "Call 911! Oh my God, call 911!" People started spilling out of the building. Randy lay prone, hidden by the bushes. No one knew he was there. No one knew about the plastic pellet. He quietly slipped the rifle under a thick tangle of roots, deep in the brush, then disappeared into the trees. He took the long way home. When he finally got there, his phone was already buzzing. Messages from coworkers. "Did you hear about Irene? Accident at work. Forklift. She's dead." He should have been upset, horrified. He should have come forward, owned up to it. His aim had been a bit off. She was moving. It was still a good shot, though. He hadn't meant to get her in the eye. He just meant to prove his point, to show her it hurt. The forklift, though? That wasn't his fault. She should have worn the seatbelt. Randy ended up filling the open management position. The cops never had any reason to suspect the cause of Irene's death. Just a tragic accident. The kids from the neighborhood never shot at anyone again. And eventually, the bank came and towed Irene's little sports car from out front. "It's just a toy, Irene."